Welcome back. Our next guest is a multi-instrumentalist and music educator whose genres cover everything from classical to Celtic to bluegrass. Let's welcome John Holenko, owner of Hungry Monk Music, on this week's Spotlight Music Series. Glad to have you with us.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
You exude musician.
Oh, good.
You do.
I'm trying, doing my best.
That and the guitar that's sitting right over there. No, but we were talking before we got started about just sort of how the landscape of putting out music has changed.
Yes.
And here you are helping shepherd young musicians also towards possible careers as a musician, but you are also putting out new music yourself.
Sure, when I can, like we were talking about, the musical landscape has changed so dramatically with digital things and streaming services and how people put out music and on one hand, many years ago, you had to have a record contract with a major label in order to get your music out there. Now anybody can do it from their bedroom with a computer, for good or bad. The good thing is you can get your stuff out there. I put music out on my YouTube channel and whatnot. The bad news is it's hard to make a living doing that.
Right. But as I say, the cream rises to the top.
Hopefully.
So if you have good music, more people will want to listen to it.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the new music that you're coming out with, but I want to talk about Hungry Monk and also the instruction that you provide to our low country students. So even if you have a tin ear, you can come and learn music.
Sure. I have all kinds of students. We start kids at 6 years old. I've had students as old as 85.
Wow.
And just all levels of people. Hungry Monk Music I teach guitar, mandolin, banjo, ukulele, almost anything with strings. We have violin teachers, cello, voice, piano, drums.
I was going to say, so as a multi-instrumentalist, how many instruments is that? So
well,
it's solid 5.
Yeah, for sure. Guitar, mandolin, guitar and mandolin are my main instruments, but I play banjo okay, not in front of people too much. But then ukulele, I've taught lap dulcimer, I've taught various.
That's great. What about not the banjo, but the mandolin?
Right.
I love the sound of the mandolin. So what drew you to that instrument?
Well, what drew me to that really was just playing a different instrument than a guitar in a group of people, a jam session, people sitting around playing. Everybody plays the guitar, and so you're sitting around with 10 guitar players. And I thought I'd like to get a different instrument, so a mandolin came my way, and I kind of figured out the 3 chords you need, and kind of just did it.
That's incredible. What is it that's so important about learning how to play an instrument, or just music in general? Because whether you become a professional at it or not, which is so rare, it still impacts you in so many ways in your life.
I think so. I think it's a valuable skill. It's on one hand, it's like another language.
Yeah.
It's a particular language. I have found myself actually within the past couple of years in Japan and Argentina with people who I couldn't speak to, but we played music together, So it's a way to connect with people. It's an interesting thing, music education. Kids go to school and they study math. The parents don't expect them to become mathematicians. They study history. They don't expect them to become historians. But then with music, somehow it's like, well, maybe he won't become a classical guitarist or pianist or whatever, conductor. It's like, so what?
That's a good point. Yeah.
You've got that sort of skill. You've got a thing that provides entertainment, provides communication, and not to mention it's a discipline. It gets your brain moving in certain ways. I think
it does, definitely. Let's talk about some of your new music that's coming out. So tell us about what you're working on.
I'm writing music all the time. There's nothing. I had a band called the Hungry Monks. There's not really a Hungry Monks anymore. Sometimes we put together some people and call it that. But we made a few CDs, and it was more or less at a time where you went to the studio, you had an idea, you gathered your music, you recorded it, you put the CD out. Now I kind of write things, tunes and songs and whatnot, and I try to get out in front of people and play them.
It's been kind of cathartic.
No, definitely. And I put them out online when I can. It's not. I haven't sort of gotten into the newer sort of digital
Do you still do gigs and stuff?
Oh, constantly.
You do? Okay. So you're practicing.
I play all the time. The other day, last week, played at the Citadel for a history class. We put together a Beatles band and recreated the Beatles rooftop concert from Let It Be.
That's great.
So that I play musicals. I'll be playing for piccolo spoleto with a Brazilian band that I play with.
Yes, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a great. We love actually Brazilian music on this show. We've had lots of musicians come on and play. Yes. So you're going to be performing something for us today. What is the name of the song?
So the song I'm going to play today is it's based on an Irish fiddle tune called "Cold Frosty Morn." And I just always like that title. You know, fiddle tunes have these crazy titles.
Is Celtic sort of your genre?
I play Celtic music, but also Appalachian. You know, those.
Well, that has a Celtic.
Yeah, those kind of
sure.
fiddle tunes. I actually just have spent the last week transcribing a bunch of Estonian dance tunes.
Oh,
for no good reason. I just like to do it, and but it's very similar thing.
It's a wide spectrum.
But it's you play. You know, you just use the same skills. Anyway, I always was intrigued with that title, "Cold Frosty Morn," and I just not one day, but after a while, sort of thought of some words to go with it and kind of came up with a story. And so it's a song that I wrote that's based on a traditional Irish tune called "Cold Frosty Morn."
Can't wait. And do you have any events coming up?
We do.
Gigs?
So the Brazilian band I play with is called Porto Seguro, and we've got 2 piccolo gigs. Get this right, May 25th and June 1st.
Okay.
Those are 2 Sundays at 3 o'clock at Gage Hall downtown.
Perfect. So get your tickets, everyone. Wonderful. And stay tuned because we're going to hear the song after the break. So thank you so much.
You bet.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.